Hello and welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how you use the TextFabric environment in order to answer the questions of the exam section that is found in the BibleSoftware Labs here at the Learning Hub of Andrews University. I'm going to look here at the BibleSoftware Lab number 3 for Hebrew. That is particularly being advised to study the BibleSoftware Lab number 3 when you are enrolled in an exegesis course. So let's have a look here at the question that you have to answer. How often does the word choshech, that's darkness, appear in all its inflections in the Pentateuch? Search the BHS. Well, let's fire up our TextFabric Web App, TF, and then we want to open the ETCBC BHSA, ETCBC BHSA, and enter. It's now going to load the TextFabric Web App for the Biblia Hebraica Stuttgartensia. All right, good. Let's have this in a separate window so that we can easier navigate between the actual question and the actual task. So, so there are 3 questions. So what we could do, we could right away create a job name. Let's call this BibleSoftware Lab number 3, and here question 1. Okay, so you see now we have this. So how often does the word choshech appear in the Pentateuch? So the first thing is we want to make sure that we are looking in book. Book is, and then we have 5 books in the Pentateuch, so it's Genesis, or Exodus, or Leviticus, or Numbers, or Deuteronomy. So these are the 5 books. Well, we have already a problem here because I'm using the English description of the letters, but the Biblia Hebraica Stuttgartensia does not use English descriptions for the books, but the Latin descriptions of the book. Well, if you want to find out how you write the Latin descriptions, well, you could look it up in your Biblia Hebraica Stuttgartensia, your print edition, or perhaps your digital edition that you might have in Logos Accordance, but you might not have none of them. So you could just go to Shibang and look up the spelling of these names here. So go to Latin, Latin, and now you can see how is it spelled. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numeri, and Deuteronomium. So let's make sure that we have not numbers here, but Numeri. So now und Deuteronomium. So now we have the correct Latin terms that appear in or that are used in the Biblia Hebraica Stuttgartensia. All right, so we have the first condition fulfilled, namely we need to search in the Pentateuch and no other book. And then we need to look for the word choshech. Word lex is. Now, how do we write choshech? I usually love to write the transliteration because it's much faster. I don't need to use, shift my keyboard into the Hebrew keyboard and try to find, the different letters. In particular, the vowels are often a pain to find. How do we know what type of transliteration we could use? Go to corpus, and there you can go to character table, and here you see the conventions on how to transliterate according to the ETCBC transcription the Hebrew letters. So choshech, for example, would be an X, shin would be the kaf, and then the chaf, would be a C, right? And then a kaf would be here a K. So we could write it that way. But before I write this, you could also go to Shibang and look up the actual word with its transliteration in the dictionary. So you can here go to words, and then choshech, here we are, chet, reish here, shin, kaf, here we have darkness, choshech. Choshech, you see here, is exactly the way how it's written here, and this is actually the transliterated form. So we could just copy paste it from here, paste it in here, and we are good. So let's run the query, search, and we have a total of 10 results. So 10 is the right answer. Let's go to the next question. Which OT book has the most instances of the perfect feminine singular forms, any stem of the verb amar, to say? Alrighty, so let's do a new job. We can add here plus. We can actually duplicate this, and then question number 2. Here we go. Alrighty, question number 2. And now we say in the book of Isaiah. So we are going to delete this and Isaiah. Again, we want to make sure that we have the correct Latin spelling for the book. So let's go to text and check how Isaiah is being spelled. Jesaja. Jesaja. So we have to write Jesaja. Okay. So, and there it says the word amar. So let's first look for the word amar. Again, we could just use here the transliteration. I happen to know the transliteration fairly well, so we could just type in amar. Amar, this is the aleph sign, amar, and it's a verb, so we need the open bracket here. And let's just search for this. 247 cases of amar. But that's not the question. The question was which Old Testament book has the most instances of perfect feminine singular forms. Oh, it's any book, so we can take this out. So any book. Amar of perfect feminine singular forms. Okay, any stem. That means we are going to look for the tense, and the tense is supposed to be perfect, and the gender is to be feminine, and the number is to be singular. Now, I've just typed it in, but it needs refinement because most likely the ETCPC database will use other abbreviations or other codes for tense and even for the value perfect, imperfect, and so on. So let's fix this now. So we can go here either, by corpus and then go to the feature docs. I always recommend using the feature doc. You will, after having worked with the corpus for a while, you will not have to look at these things much anymore. You will just remember them. But let's here. There's a feature doc for words, so it tells you what all the features for the word container are, and also what the values are that each feature has. So let's look for number. Here's number. Here you see we abbreviated with NU, and this are the values: singular, plural, dual. Okay, let's fix this. So we go to, instead of number being number, it's NU, and singular is SG. We write here SG. Yeah. Then the next thing was tense. Okay, let's look for tense. VT, verbal tense. It's abbreviated as VT, and here it's perfect for perfect. Okay. The tense is VT, and then we abbreviate the value perfect as perf. And now we need to add the word we need to look for the gender abbreviation. That's GN, and we have M and F. Okay, GN, and then the value would be F. So most instances of the perfect feminine singular form of any stem of amar. Yeah, we should be good. Let's run this query for now. And here we go. We have 34 cases in which the perfect feminine singular of amar appears. We could show now all 34 cases. So here we go. Now we have all 34 cases, but we could make it a little easier because it says Isaiah, Genesis, Hosea, Proverbs. It's not that many books, but we could just have a look at it and say book is Genesis, and then run the query. So we have 7 cases. And then Isaiah, here we have 3 cases. So Genesis more, then Hosea, That's also 3 cases. And then Proverbs. I bet those has the... oh, Proverbia. Again, we need to... Proverbia. 4 cases. So it's Genesis that has the most cases. Genesis, 7 cases. So Genesis would be the right answer. Okay, and let's move on to the last question. And the last question says, search for all cases in the Old Testament where shalom is followed directly by min. So shalom min. Look at your search results. How often does this construction appear? Search the BHS, so the entire Old Testament. Okay, good. Well, let's do that. We are going to look for 2 words, right? Shalom and min. So we are going to look for word lex is. Shalom. Well, I happen to know the transliteration, so that would be shalom. I think that's how you write it, and it's a noun. And then the next word would be lex is min, the preposition min. Now, basically what the TextFabric will be doing now, it will look for all shalom cases and for all min cases in any order. So it could be min shalom or shalom min, but what we had here is it said we want to have shalom to be followed directly by min. So we need to specify the relation between these words. The way how I like to do it is I just like to give this first word the definition W1, the second W2, standing for word. I mean, you can use dummies for that, so you could do A and B, or whatever you want. So I like to use these types of abbreviations, and now we need to define the relationship between these 2 words. And we said we want word 1 to be directly before word 2. So this sign would tell you word 1 needs to be before word 2. This will be a complex computational exercise because there are many mins that follow many shaloms. It would mean the first shalom has many mins follow, and shalom, the second shalom has many mins follow. So, but we want to have only those cases where min follows directly after shalom. So basically this tells you that right after the word boundary of shalom, we want W2, that is min, to be followed. Okay, let's run that query. Here we go, 5 cases. Let's see whether we actually did a correct job. So we can look up here the word, and Beshalom mibne, in peace from the sons of Ammon. So you see min follows right after shalom. So how many cases did we find? We got 5, so here are our cases, 5. Oh, we should have defined actually this as a new job and called this question 3. Okay, so here we go. You see we have all 3 questions. The first one, the second one, which we now need to change again because we use this to answer question 2, but question 3. But anyway, you see the logic behind it. So, okay, this was the exam section of BibleSoftware Lab number 3, where we are querying the Hebrew Bible. Thank you.